that there is an association of mothers of fraudsters?
We are taking the issues of cyber crimes, online fraud, and other related internet crimes very seriously.
This morning I was reading up something and I saw that even Yahoo Boys Association, the mothers have an association of Yahoo Boys. Yes, Yahoo Boys Mothers Associations.
Critical questions about the rising levels of violent crimes and also moral decay among Nigerian youth. Cases like this point to a deeper societal issue where lawlessness, criminal behavior, and even heinous acts like serial killings are becoming alarmingly frequent. The growing trend highlights underlying issues of social disintegration, a failing education system, and deteriorating family structures, all contributing to the moral decline.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rush Online. First of all, I'd like to thank every single subscriber. Thank you so much. Thank you for your subscription, your support, and all that. I really do appreciate it. And if you are a new viewer and haven't subscribed yet, please do well to subscribe to the channel, like, share the videos, and you're always free to let us know what you think in the comment section. And now, if you're not subscribed, I'm sure you are very much aware of how I've constantly kept attributing the reason why the Nigerian youth keeps engaging in criminal activities, not only in Nigeria, but everywhere in this world, based on the fact that it all boils down to, the style of parenting in Nigeria. Now, this is how bad it is, to the extent that there are even associations formed by the parents of these criminal Nigerian youth. And here I'm talking about those who are into the Yahoo type of crimes, which is the internet fraud, the romance scams, the Yahoo Plus, which involves the human sacrifices and all that. This association is called Yahoo Boys Mothers Association. The Yahoo Boys Mothers Association, meaning the mothers of these criminal-minded youth are solidly behind the actions of their children with so much pride. So for some time now, I've been wondering if my assertions were right, if my assertions were, accurate. So I had to start researching, trying to dig deep into finding out the exact reason why the Nigerian youth keeps committing crimes everywhere they find themselves. So, and whenever you talk, it's like they come out saying, they come out blaming it on, the fact that they have bad governance and all that, and their economy and all that. Okay, fine. There is so much, going on in Nigeria with regards to the kind of governance, the leaders are rendering the country. But is that an excuse for the youth of Nigeria, or not only the youth, for the ordinary Nigerian to keep committing crimes everywhere they find themselves, be it in Nigeria or outside Nigeria? To me, I think it doesn't make sense, because even if it has to do with hardship, if we are to list the top poorest countries in the world, Nigeria is even not part of the first 40. Nigeria is somewhere around 46 or something. The first, I think, is South Sudan, then followed by Burundi, then I think Central African Republic, the list goes on and on and on. Nigeria is somewhere around 46 or so. So if there are so many countries doing worse than you guys, then, and if there is a case whereby those countries going through all these hardships that you are way better than, are not engaging in all these criminal activities, and you who claims to be the big brother of Africa, or you who is doing way better than about 45 countries, in the world, keeps engaging in this act, always attributing it to the bad governance in your country, doesn't really make sense. So if you will have to commit these crimes just because of the hardship going on in the country, then what do you think the youth of South Sudan, which is the poorest country based on the research on the screen, should also be doing? But even regardless how bad these countries are doing, that you are way better than, these guys are not engaging in the kind of crimes you guys are engaging in. So where is the excuse? That's why from day one I keep attributing this to the style of parenting of Nigerians. And this time around, it seems I've been vindicated because after all my search trying to find out the exact reason, just for it not to seem like I'm kind of like blowing things out of proportion and all that, trying to make some wrong assessments and all that. So I came across this video, and thanks to Dr. Gbadugbola Abiri for spitting nothing but the truth. So without wasting much time, let's go listen to this conversation and let me know what you think in the comment section. If these guys are really being real to the issue, just as I've always been complaining about the style of parenting in Nigeria for some time now. Let's go watch the video. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share, and we are all educating ourselves, so share this video, like, and let me know what you also think. Are you also with this kind of narrative, or have a different perception when it comes to the reason why these guys keeps engaging in all these criminal acts and stuff? Let me know in the comment section.
And it's time for our extra special for Sunday. In a disturbing incident, Nigerian police arrested suspected serial killer Ibrahim Ajayi following a string of murders involving students from Ogun State University. The latest victim, a 22-year-old student, was found dead under suspicious circumstances, igniting public outrage. Ajayi had reportedly been on the run after committing several brutal killings that targeted young women, creating widespread fear on campus and within the community.
Now, however, the arrest raised critical questions about the rising levels of violent crimes and also moral decay among Nigerian youth. Cases like this point to a deeper societal issue where lawlessness, criminal behavior, and even heinous acts like serial killings are becoming alarmingly frequent. The growing trend highlights underlying issues of social disintegration, a failing education system, and deteriorating family structures, all contributing to the moral decline. Now, joining us to discuss this today are Dr. Gbadugbola Abiri, a consultant psychiatrist and associate lecturer, and also Dr. David Falarami, a life coach and psychiatrist. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome.
Thank you for coming on. I mean, when we look at the news, it's very, very sad indeed to see just the amount of crime against women and just murder of young girls, and which is all perpetrated by young boys. And so, Dr. Abiri, I have to ask, how does upbringing, and family and structure influence the rising crime rates that we've seen, especially with young boys?
Well, so thank you for the question, and thank you for taking it back home. Thank you for taking it back to the family, which is pretty much the foundation. There's a good book that says that if the foundation is faulty, what can the righteous do? And so everything starts and falls at the level of the family. What we found these days, and I like that, while the focus is on, crimes against women, the truth is there's a rise in crime globally. It's not just, against women. It's against children, it's against men, it's against, people who are vulnerable and who people feel like they can take advantage of. But, in particular situations with women, especially like the case you just highlighted, like, the one that was on the news about the Ugandan, athlete who was, killed brutally. What we find is that a lot of the behavior, especially that tends towards aggression, is learned. And so it goes back home. It goes back to, psychological development, psychological theories. Where did we grow up? What kind of environments did we grow up in? Were they, comfortable, loving environments, or were they environments where people were exposed to adverse childhood experiences? So research will show you that when you look at criminals, and it's also very important that, people don't dismiss that every criminal has a mental illness. No. It's easily, explained away when you want to say that, oh, every criminal has a mental illness. Mental illness is not the only reason why people commit crimes. People can be impulsive. People could have learned crime over time. And so generally speaking, what you find is that children model behavior that they see around them. And so research would show you that quite a number of people who go into crime are people who grew up in environments or, families where dysfunctional families where either one parent was a criminal or one parent was exposed to heavy substance abuse, environments that are, very, what I call it now, very, places like slums, places where, there's a lot of crime. They see crime, they view crime. Crime is a part of their, day in, day out activities. And unfortunately, in societies where crime is also not, it's not punished appropriately. And so beyond the home, where children would have learned crime, where they would have been able to tolerate crime, not see violence as a big deal, because it's something that they have, been attuned to every day of their lives, is also the fact that the society also plays a very, very huge role. If the society, are declining moral levels, are declining values, where, for instance, this morning I was reading up something and I saw that, even Yahoo Boys Association, the mothers have an association of Yahoo Boys. Yes, Yahoo Boys Mothers Association. So the decline is in depth. The decline it's totally bad. But definitely, everything goes back to the home, where there's a lot of learning, where there's a lot of influence on unavailable structures, such as the family structure.
Yeah, it's very interesting that you should actually make that a pivotal point of this conversation here, the family and substance abuse. You also mentioned that. I want to come to Dr. Falarami here. If you can hear me, yes, you can. So regarding the mention of substance abuse here, you've had plenty of experience life coaching and also dealing with young people. Do you find that this is a rampant occurrence inside of society when it comes to people who are prone to crime or perhaps have committed crime? Is substance abuse a major factor? Dr. Falarami, please go ahead.
Yes. Yes, good morning. Thank you for having me. I would say substance abuse plays a major role. It's a major factor in the rise in crime rates that we see, not just across the country, but in the continent and all over the world. Dr. Abiri mentioned the Ugandan athlete that was brutally murdered. Well, there's no pointing to the fact that the perpetrator might have been on substances, but then we've had similar instances, because I deal with people who struggle with substance abuse every day, and I have to work closely with law enforcement agencies and legal practitioners in cases where some of these crimes were perpetrated as a result of being under the influence of substances. So we've seen this happen time and time and time again. We've seen cases of sexual assault. We've seen cases of violence, widespread violence that was induced by substance use in many cases, especially among young persons, So yes, substance use does play a major factor. Remember, when a person is under the influence of these substances, he or she most probably wouldn't know what they are doing at the time that crime is committed. So we've seen it a lot, that substance use plays a major role in fueling crime and violence and general moral decadence among our youth in the country.
Speaking about outside influence, I want to come to you, Dr. Abiri, for this one. And it's the red pill content that we've seen on social media repeatedly. We have seen it so much so that it is, heart-wrenching to look at. So I want to talk about social media in and of itself and how it influences, especially the young boys, and this sort of rhetoric that is being, portrayed on social media, and the glorification of violence and glorification of misogynoir, so to speak, for women.
So it's rather unfortunate that the environment has and continues to become permissive with what we allow to slide.
That's the word, permissive.
Yeah, extremely permissive as to what we allow to slide. A few days ago, and I know that, this is also on social media, where, an actress, or rather a Nigerian musician, female, had said something like, "Stop raping us." And, the response was, "Then watch what you wear." And so it's heartbreaking that, children, again, if you go beyond the screens, I always say that people are beyond screens, many times broken screens, many people who can't even step up to you on a regular. And because of the flawed, thought patterns that they've had, because of the flawed, so again, let's go back to the family, dysfunctional families, absent fathers, homes where, perhaps mothers are not present, either because of, circumstances or situations beyond the control. And so children have to grow up in many places, having multiple caregivers, not having consistency, stability, the safety and security that a home is supposed to have. Again, research will show you that if you looked at criminals as against people who don't, have any crime, in their DNA, what you find is that the home system where everything starts is faulty. Sometimes you may even say that, okay, there's a father and there's a mother. What role do they play in these children's lives?
But doctor, there are times where, for example, this story that's now on social media of Christiana who went to church, and there's also the boy who's also in church and also a church member. And so there are times where you see the individual and the perpetrator of this crime is literally from a good background. I mean, it
Exactly.
seems like it
Is it
appears
family or
good
is it
on paper. So
society?
it's something. Is it family or society? Because the mother is there, is present. You know, he has an older brother who's doing well, or an elder sister who's married, and he seems to be on a path, on a straight
He's
path
set right.
that is good. You know, set right. He's going to church. He's in school. They're friends.
Yeah.
He offered to help her, to be a gentleman, only to kill her.
Well, so again, appearances can be deceitful, and many times are deceitful. Everything looks all right. Everything looks like we have a father and a mother, but what values are they giving onto that child? Then, of course, we have to look at the fact that there's always an interplay between nature and nurture. What family did I come from? What societal influences am I seeing? And so it's not until we get to social media, even things as seemingly little as video games, the violence that we expose children to, the environments that they grow up in, and of course, the permissiveness, again, of social media. The permissiveness of social media, if you ask me, is driven to a large extent by the fact that the people who seem to have a huge following, regardless of what they say, whether it is morally wrong, again, societal standards. What does society see as morally wrong? What does society see as, right? And so, for instance, you'd hear people, come across and say, the reason why people go to Yahoo is because, our forefathers were taken as slaves. It's a mentality that has been sold constantly to people. And until we go back to the drawing table, again, I would always take it back home. Until we start to have, values that make sense, values that we can uphold. People can, have role models that they can look forward to. Until society, is no longer standing on its head, we may just continue to get it wrong.
Mr. David, let me come to you and ask about this society, because I would draw from my own experience and seeing people around me. That's the only way I can, form opinions, right? And I've seen a situation where, everything is right. You went to the best school, you went to the best, had the best education, had the best parent that one could possibly ask for. You were given, the best that society wants for you to have. But then you grow up and you decide to chart another course for yourself differently from what it is, and that is peer pressure in and of itself. And so I want you to speak on that one, but also, has society lost its plot?
Thank you very much. I think in asking that question, you just summarized my own background, because I grew up in a loving home with Christian parents. Dr. Abiri knows some or most of my story. I went to Christian schools all through, went to a good Christian private university, went to a good university in London for my master's, and then still I got mixed up with the wrong crowd and started using drugs. And then for 7 years I was struggling with addiction to hard drugs, and that could have gone very south, because at some point I started living in the trap houses where I had people who were criminals, who were kidnappers, who were armed robbers, who would go out to do anything to use on drugs. And David could just have gone out with any of these people, and I'll have become one of those stories. And it would just be almost what you're talking about. He grew up in a loving home. He grew up in a Christian background, went to the best of schools. How did it happen? I think there are other predisposing factors. There are other underlying factors. You talked about peer pressure. As Dr. Abiri has said, it still comes down to the home and instilling resilience, instilling values, instilling life skills and social skills in our children that will make them, put them on the right track. Because I always tell people, no matter where you grow up, once you go out and you socialize, you're going to be exposed to substances and other social vices. So I'll take a leap from what Dr. Abiri is saying. It still boils down to the home. There's the whole nature versus nurture thing. But once you are cooked properly, like I like to tell people, from the home, it makes it a lot more difficult for you to lose your way when you get out there. Because that really was my story. That really was my story. You just summarized my story in the question that you asked. And I lost 4 friends, to substance use, addiction, and other related issues. But thankfully to God, I'm here, I'm alive today, I'm telling my story, and I'm able to help others come out of it.
Thank goodness.
Your second question about if society has lost the plot, I think it's yes.
We lost him. Okay.
Become so morally bankrupt. He was telling me he ran into the younger sister of an old schoolmate, and she saw him and she just said, please, do you have any friends that can take care of me? And I kept on, it gave me sleepless nights because I said, why would you just see somebody you haven't seen in so long and you're asking if he has any friends that can take care of you? Your parents are alive. Your parents sent you to a good school. You are in 400 level of university. Everything is going on well for you. But then you still think it's okay to just meet a stranger, just so he can take care of you. And that's where some of these things start. You saw what happened in Kwara State with the young lady who went out to act as a boyfriend and eventually died, and then something about 15,000 naira was involved. I wonder how her parents must be feeling at this time. So I think, yes, the society has lost the plot. Our moral values has depleted so badly that everything is upside down. Right is now wrong. And the young ones look up to for help, the ones that we call our role models, are glorifying some of these things, on social media, in their music videos, in some of the videos that they shoot and things like that.
Folorami,
so something needs to be done. Something really, really needs to be done.
I needed to jump in there.
Start with the family.
Regarding something needing to be done, the question is rehabilitation. Now, not just rehabilitation for those who are hooked on substance, but rehabilitation for those who perhaps might have committed these crimes without the use of substance. There's also the topic or the subject of underage people who have committed these crimes. How can they also be rehabilitated? I'll take your response to that first before Dr. Bonjugwala's.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, there's need for rehabilitation. There's need for corrective measures. Then there's need for proper reintegration back into the society. But these things have to be done with evidence-based procedures. So you just don't set up a facility and say you are rehabilitating people. I've seen this done in so many places, and it's become counterproductive because what is supposed to be done is not being done there. You for instance, you talked about underage persons who need rehabilitation, and then you take them to a facility without a child psychologist and things like that. You use primitive measures or measures that are not actually known to work to do these things, and you find out that it's counterproductive. Sometimes they come out and they are worse. So yes, there's a need for that, but the relevant stakeholders need to come together to make sure that this is done correctly, so we don't have a bigger problem on our hands.
All right, thank you. Dr. Bonjugwala, if you would like to respond to that now.
Well, so it's important to have a plan, and a plan that will work. I've had the opportunity to work in some institutions where some of these underage people are kept for reformation, rehabilitation, and when I had to do research, I did a research on trauma, even within the system. So you need to, be pretty sure that the system is not even re-traumatizing these ones that we have put to get,
There's stories of people being beaten, being chained.
In fact, you don't want to imagine what's there. And so beyond structures, beyond processes that are touted out and, told to us that, oh, don't worry, everything is going on right, are we actually doing the work that needs to be done? Again, we need to go back home. I always say we need to go back home because, even in making decisions as to who to marry, how many children I need to have, who will cater to my children when I'm not there, if there's a life event such as death, who will cater to my children, then you then go to, the systems that have been put in place by other individuals, NGOs and governmental agencies. Do they have the expertise to run these places? Unfortunately, everything, especially because of all the Japa syndrome and all of those things, the experts that are needed to cater to the children are not even there. There was a day I was in one of these homes, and and when I had told them that this child was high risk for suicide, high risk for depression, when the head of that home came,
the blood of Jesus, rebuke it in the mighty name of Jesus. Not my child in Jesus' name.
I was cringing at how she was speaking to the child. She was like, "Are you mad? I'm like, no.
What is wrong with you?
This child is supposed to be here to get reformed, to get rehabilitated. And like David said, when they get back out, they're most likely 10,000 times worse than, when they got back in. So we all need to go back to the drawing table. It's a lot of work for all of us. All hands must be on deck.
Speaking of going back to the drawing table, I wonder if Nigeria and its glorification of riches and wealth has also contributed to moral decay as well, and what we see with our young boys. But we're pressed for time. We have to.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Bro, Rash online. Apomu to say. Where the way ja metati u tape pa we mi wa adwuma mu a me gusu ye adwuma ana mi nya mitete u tape bia na me kote se wo se ya kidnap Ghana ni ba bia omu demand diska ade ba ko ese Ghana fo hu ni se alatafo te se emmoa ye kase nipa ya aboa hwe wuyi alatafo fota eye very difficult se wo benya mienu a omo dwen se wo ye nipa na sa omo respect o yeah Europe ameti say we ya me dan lata ni yonko mini bi and I don't want to have some. You can't, there are people you can't rely on them. Alata ni nipa yakase Nigeria ni ankasa ni nipa yakase de ho twere no nanu ya anwumre and I'm so me koba na me kohwe madam fo bi na me koya me tena ase ana broni bi betena me nche hi how are you and I'm say fine broni no so twi train or cat train bi. And also, my friend and so me Ghana and also very nice people. Even my girlfriend is Ghanaian, she's coming very soon. So that's nice. Ghana by and say, sis net say, was say, are you talking to me from Okai animals or Yalatan? And I'm so I thought you are Ghanaian. No, say, oh, boy, no, sit me. Yeah, I'm a Ghanaian. I'm so which part of Ghana you come from? Bro, why are you doing that? We are all Africans. And I'm Danny and I'm catching a boy and say she's lying. She's a Nigerian. Oh, bro, we are all Africans. Why are you doing that? And I'm saying, you know why I'm doing that? Most of you prostitutes in Europe here, you rob the man, you can take his wallet or his something big from him and disappear. And tomorrow he will be thinking that Ghanaian girl robbed him. And I'm catching and say, bro, you see this street? Almost every girl you see left and right, they are all Nigerians. No any Ghanaian girl standing here as a prostitute. Most of them are ashamed to tell you they are Ghanaians, they are Nigerians. That's why she's telling you she's a Ghanaian. And a boy will say, yes, I always sometimes think, and I'm say, find her best friends when she's not around and ask them to just give them some $10 or $20 and tell them to tell you the truth. She's a Ghanaian. They will tell you she's a Nigerian. So be careful. Don't let her do you something and after you put our name, Ghanaians, our name on it. And on Cotton, you were club in minimum now for Somalia for guests for being a call club. You club, no man, I mean, no munina falcon. Minimum now for Jamaica's beach and a baby didn't come. A tinner crop, a bomb man say, why shit. And I decided I come outside for fresh air. Me pray, I know madam for Somalia, Niba, Kone. Boy bijina ho din komo alata ni tintin bisa san wa ka ce so we Ghana ni ama Ghana ka ce so oh my best friend is a Ghanaian also we came together and me pray ba abontin a and again so that is my friend I'm telling you no say black and I'm say yes no say this is also from Ghana and I'm say brother to say what say I didn't tell you I'm Ghanaian I say I'm Nigerian and girl say why do you lie to me brothers Mr. Gun, why do you lie to me? So I'm going to make a again in the bag in this form. Or castle a gun and you know what again every and again, you put a bag. What can a woman say again? I don't want to hear nothing from you, no rock clap. Into other Africans cry where Europe, no, they are afraid of Nigerian. Nigerian is somebody you have to be afraid of him. And we are Ghana, we are business, also we are business. Right? I let any catch out say, Konikromo alata. Nakofa $1 million bla udi bedru Ghana dia ukwa you are very greedy. Upese me unkuminya na do beko. Alata ni ti wano. One say watch Ghana ni ya wasi jisa busiafo mfa sikamra. No mu diskaba ansa na wa release girl no. Bro Rash, I'm promising you sir, they can pay the money and still will not get the girl. A lot of what they are so greedy. And we are Ghana ni ba. Nasa also watching Nigeria ni one day we good. Ma upese me nkuminya emfa unkodru alata ho. U body no what the okachira busiafo say omo amfa ma body no obetonton ni ti obetwa ne nsa ye beto private part ne ye beto akoma ne ye beto ne kon ye beto ne tososo ye beto ne to ye flat ye beto body ni na ada ne spare parts. We are Ghana ni Nasa what Ghana ne no how many Nigerians are flying from Nigeria to Ghana both almost say Omuadin wa Nigeria, ewo sika wa Nigeria, eni sika wa Nigeria, emu prostitute, mane meme dwane. Europe highway, both man and mema latter forward, most of them are trying to claim Ghanaians just because of the way their country is so dirty, the way they are like animals. That's how they also want who be say because of your business, no, you can only go to Nigeria and that will make you richer. Unu nyamenko. Ukwa, ubody will become spare parts. These people have no heart. Nyamenkwa gali and nayeti ni tepi. Only Nyamenkwa nebetimi asevunu say one day if she can come back to Ghana alive. Only God knows. Eti brothers and sisters amuwa brarashi ayi chen sorry. So what year ni tepu da? Ubeti said they was complaining very bitterly. Ubeti said they was complaining a yawe what bra imwa tembia oye tepa or describe the air cost between right? Me free Europe I say call Kenya. Samra na o ma panyin kufo na woso. Me ne me namfo ye free Europe an ye call Kenya holidays. You drew Kenya no bro, unim the migration ma busame. First question busame say, are you coming from Nigeria? And I say, why are you asking me if I'm coming from Nigeria? And I say, I want to promise you, if I look your passport and if I control your passport and you are from Nigeria, the same flat that you coming with from Europe, I will send you back with the same flat back. And pass other Nigerians are now plane, they send them back. The ama Kenyans in South Africa, same person, omudi omadi behu Nigerians, no. These people are very greedy and they have no heart and you can't rely on them. Europe haya amete. Na Cameroon ni bi wo. Adwuma bi ana ode ama me ana me ye no part time. Ena Nigeria the boy bi a watena other French countries not French very well. Tino ne Cameroon ni adamfo. That could no introduce ni or introduce na I Cameroon introduce ni say, oh black, because of you have a fixed job and you are doing this at part time. I want to introduce this man to you that one day if you are not around, he can also help. He come from Nigeria, baba baba baba. And I'm so okay, no problem. I let you start part time church and a jumano so who a jumano. Ah, more no the plan be about. I quite say nipa bi no ka asem no a se wo de apobe to metrimu a no asafa chiri no akoyi ama Nigeria no Cameroonian no expecting say I will lose the job, he will take the job one day. It be here the question I was not happy. Who's a Ghanaian say very fast and in the competition me wa majuma me te Europe kuta me krata o me fix ajuma uwa ba wuni krata ye do wa bata ho say part-time ayi bi na nti me hwe ya and I'm so okay. I will play them very hard. I will play them smarter than them. That could me friend Cameroon, you know, na me can say, listen, you introduce this man to me, everything is going right, and you know I have my fixed job already. So I want us to give him most of the percentage. But anyway, anytime I'm free, I will pass by and help also as much as I can. Any you know, I call argument. Agreement for them expecting say I will be coming. Na me handy key be amount. If free I done no better me handy key ma I need 3 weeks crana. Nigeria need to lose so admano because he cannot manage it. He don't know what to do. What he was thinking was wrong. He was thinking without me, he can do what I'm doing and this and that. But he didn't know. And the Cameroonian also was not intelligent, didn't know, was expecting to say, I let him fetch the back and he will be better. I hand over and stop going there. Actually, they come back, Cameroon, sending Crawford back, other men for other Africans and Jamaicans to talk to me. And I told them, I said, look, bro, I have my fixed job. You people didn't know. We are all friends. You didn't know. I just have this as part-time job. But if they were thinking that I will lose this and make them happy, let them go and happy. I have my fixed job. I don't need this for nothing. It didn't bring me nothing. You people know. Whatever I get from this part-time job, I will stand one place with you people and we can enjoy this one night without me thinking about anything. So I clean my hands. It's finished. And part of the place has now closed down. It me alert and you cost about from Okatem say 20 million da okra. Nigerian him say me take Nigerian India. I will not push my head down. No matter Okatem say $20 million, 20 million pounds on the da okra. I will not push it. Anybody who will go for it, let him go for it. I will not put myself down. Nigeria need the any power. Me no work competition and me no work nothing to do. And we are Ghanaian now to Ghana. Now se Ghana what to be any wa Emma who told you what to kaya ko Nigeria. Unu nyamenko. And to brarash the American on where there make us say yawa but everybody should be careful about Nigerians. Thank you very much. Thank everybody for listening. And you try to share so other brothers and sisters will come across it and it will help all Ghanaians for us to be safe. Thank you, Bro Rash. Thank.
Hi, Rash. Greetings to you and greetings to all your panel members, your listeners. In fact, about 3 days ago, I found it very difficult to get my normal appetite because of the video that they showed of a Ghanaian woman being kidnapped, topless. I don't know, what do I say? And I think we've been here and we've been talking about these people most of the time. The only reason why I sympathize with this woman is that maybe the circumstances that she found herself in, there's nothing she could do to resist those people. If that is a situation, then I'll pity her. But if her situation is something that is the other way around, that maybe he took he traveled to Nigeria by her own volition. Okay, then I don't think there's much I'll be able to say about it. Because, you know, something happened in the 80s. And then, you know, 80s from this, it's not far. I'm talking about around 40 years, 45 years. Okay? So, some of them are having, those Ghanaians who went to Nigeria, okay? Some are having their mothers around. Some of them, their mothers are still around. Their aunties and their family members, some of them are around to today. So no one should come and tell anyone that he doesn't know the character of a Nigerian. Okay? Nigerians have been using Ghanaians for rituals for long. It's not today. They came here, they did it, Busia sacked them, we chased them, and they continue. A lot of them never came back, especially the ladies. Most of them, the one they went to Nigeria, never came back. Because information in those 40 years ago was very, very sketchy. You find it very good to someone come to say that he was here, she was here, and he never came back. And that was it. Story closed. So no one should say that he doesn't know the character of a Nigerian. So as for that one, I don't need to waste my time on this. But it's unfortunate because I find it very cool to watch the video. In fact, you know, our leaders, we don't have them. Our leaders to defend us, we don't have. Both MPP and the NDC. When it comes to this matter, I don't want politics. Don't talk about both of them. If the first fool is a fool, the second one shouldn't be a fool. Because the second one should learn from the first one. But I don't think that is the case. Ghana's situation with these criminal Nigerians is getting worse. I don't think this present government will save the situation. Recently, he has just given out 1,000 scholarships to ECOWAS. That's what he's saying. He phrased it ECOWAS. How many countries, how many Togolese will be coming to university in Ghana? How many? How many from Benin will be coming to university in Ghana? Okay, so 100, 5 for Togo, 10 for Liberia, 5 for Sierra Leone, and they are the English-speaking countries around. Most of them even are not coming to study in Ghana. And the rest will go to Nigeria. So it's Nigerian scholarship. It's the ECOWAS. Let the NDC people come out and break it down. Have you got 1,000 scholarship to pay for Nigerians, the taxpayers' money? How much money did Nigerian contributed to President Mahama, your campaign? How much money did they contributed? There is something fishy. Both these two parties, they've got deep. Nigerians have been sponsoring our political parties, and I don't have the facts, but I've got common sense. When these Guta people were fighting with Nigerians about their retail something, Nigeria sent about 20-something man entourage to Castle to tell our government to bend the laws so that they can do the retail. And since then, everything, we don't hear anything again. They are doing their business as usual. Nigerians have been sponsoring Ghana political parties. There's a lot of facts you can see. Open your eyes and you see. How should a Nigerian be given a COVID contract? No Ghanaian will be able to do it. Now, that person has got a police motorcade. And other things, when he moves. Oh, Ghana. Ghana. Have you got leaders? Or we have got followers? We should call them Ghanaian followers. They are not Ghanaian leaders. These people cannot be called leaders. They can't be called leaders. Lucky Dube once said, I am a living witness, and I know that not every black man is my brother, and not every white man is an enemy. I've used that philosophy in my Rash is privy to my messages, so he knows what I'm talking about. I'm a living witness, and I know that not every black man is my brother, and not every white man is an enemy. We all know that Lucky Dube came from South Africa, so he knows both black and white, and that's why he's saying that. Some foolish Ghanaians will say Nigerian Nigerian brothers. Stupid fools. Stop changing that narrative. Nigerian can never be your brother. They can't never be. Instead, Nigerian is your enemy. Nigeria is an African enemy #1. Everywhere they go, they spoil the name of Africa. Nigerian is an African enemy. They cannot be your brother. So stop spewing nonsense. You don't even talk to your own brother, your blood brother in the house. You don't even talk to him. You come to social media and say, our brothers, Nigerians, fools. You call Nigerian your brother. You call Nigerian brother. Look at what is happening to what this lady and his family, immediate family. And we who are the extended family, look at what we've been going through. Those of us who are from the extended family, look at what we've been going through. Coming to tell us that my brother, my Nigerian brother, we are brothers. Nigerians have been using Ghanaians for ritual for long. It's not today. And they've got the opportunity again. Muhammad doesn't care. Even Kufuado, the party that they say they hate foreigners, can do this. Mama is coming to do worse. You people don't know your political alienation. That's why, or what the political parties stand for. If the party that they say that is an account party that hates foreigners, okay, allowed every country to enter Ghana free of charge without visa, canceling every restriction that will impede these people from entering our country. Just pick your passport and enter Ghana. If a party of this magnitude does this thing for Nigerians, what do you think NDC will do? NDC will be looking for those from Cote d'Ivoire, wanting to make everybody Ghanaian so that they will vote for them. All the time, you don't see that they've been fighting over, all over again. From Cote d'Ivoire to Burkina Faso, NDC are good people all over there. Do you think NDC is coming to to use any law or to what do I put it? To bring a law that will restrict the foreigners? No, they are not going to do it. They are not going to do that. So I'm sorry. Everybody who's looking for a mama to do something for Ghanaians, as far as this cause is concerned, is dissolutional. It's dissolutional. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. I pray to God. I don't want to. I pray to God that by His divine intervention, this lady will get her freedom, because her situation is very pathetic. The situation is very, very pathetic. Those Ghanaians who say they will mind the Nigerians, all the time when I read that topic, I just want to drop my guard, because some people will say they have never seen anything wrong with them. So you people who say you love the Nigerians, go ahead. Okay? Go ahead and marry them. Okay? And have your children with them. Because some of the women are very, very brave than men. I'm a man, but if I don't see how even I can sleep with a Nigerian woman with my eyes closed, even a Nigerian woman, I can't sleep even with a Nigerian woman. If you are a Ghanaian lady and you're able to sleep with a Nigerian man with your eyes closed, then kudos, you are so brave. I jealous your bravery. For me, I can't do it. I can't do it. So, Mr. Rush, as for this matter, we leave it in the hands of God. Even at all, I'm not fluent enough. I've lost my fluency because this lady's matter is weighing too much on me. I'll be back. Raj, have a good day. I'm lost of words. Bye-bye.
So what do you also think? Let me know in the comment section. Do you agree or disagree? Let me know what you think in the comment section. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like, share this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.